What's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Headshot and thank you for joining us. Today I want to do a first look video at a very special pistol. This is a World War II Waffen 359 issued Walther PP, and I'm super excited to show you this video. So we had about 45,000 new subscribers last year, which is absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate that. And last year was really dedicated because of COVID and other things going on. It was really dedicated to new shooters, new shooter series, concealed carry, which we've been doing our entire career here on YouTube, is concealed carry and things like that, which I enjoy doing. World War II guns, though, have a very special place in my heart. I've really dove deep into this subject the past couple of years. I absolutely love any and everything World War II, and it's really cool because now I can incorporate what I love about World War II and bring you firearms to show you. So this year, there's going to be more World War II guns, gun reviews on the channel than ever before. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to stop doing new guns and concealed carry, but it's just something I wanted to kind of update you guys on because I love this stuff. Because this gun has a story. What the story is, we may never know. We can speculate, of course, but these guns are really cool, and I am glad to own it. If you look at the things, some of the things that we're going to talk about, you got to understand the way I see it and a lot of collectors see it is these are trophies. All right, this basically means that we beat the ideology of Nazi Germany, and we took their stuff back with us. Okay, so that's the way I see it. Some people might be kind of sensitive to that, but I see it as trophies and beating that ideology, which is an awesome thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Of course, it doesn't come with a box. If it came with a box, it'd be much more expensive than what it already is. Legacy Collectibles does a really good job of telling you what they think the condition of the gun is, and I think this one was about 85% is what they kind of stated. The bore and everything is good on it. I have to have a working shooting example, obviously, to do reviews on it. It has some slide wear and stuff that I'll show you, but really this is just a first look video and kind of talk about the Walther PP here. So Tom at Legacy Collectibles sent me the, they have a huge database of these guns, and this one falls in the 4th variation. So if we actually look at this one, it's got more of a duller finish on it. All right, some of the earlier ones had a higher polish finish. This one is a duller finish, and you can see some of the machine markings in the gun. So at this point, we're probably talking about 43, 44 maybe. They're not really too concerned about you seeing machining marks, and they're not too concerned about there being this high polish finish. They're concerned about turning the tide or yeah, at that point, really trying to turn the tide back in their favor in the war. So, and pumping out a bunch of pistols and guns. So that's what they're really concerned with. This one does have a little bit of slide wear near the muzzle here. And really, you can kind of consider this to be Germany and eventually Nazi Germany's first concealed carry gun. Because if you look at the specs of this, it's like 23 ounces unloaded somewhere in there, and then 6.7 inches in overall length. 3.9-inch barrel, 1.2 inches thick, and 4.3 inches in height. So if you followed our channel at any length of time, that sounds pretty similar to some of the new carry guns of today. Of course, it's a little bit heavier at 23 ounces, but it ain't that far off. So this thing is actually maybe considered one of the first real true concealed carry guns of its time, which I think is a pretty cool thing. It is double to single action. I think they consider it actually double action. All right, so what you have here is the first shot, and this, of course, I safety checked it, but I'll do it here too. No slide stop or slide release to speak of. It of course has a slide stop, but it's an internal slide stop. But basically that first shot is going to be a double action shot, and then subsequent shots are going to be single action. Now this is pretty cool because it actually does have that decocker. All right, you can leave it like that, I guess, where the hammer safely drops. And I'll show you more details like that in the actual review. But then you move this back up to the fire position. Now you're in double action with the hammer safely dropped. So you're good to go there. This one is Waffen marked. So the original ones, at least wartime, are going to be, well, right before that, they were crown marked. So basically, on this side of the gun, you have an eagle in on the ejection port and right here on the frame. That doesn't mean it was military issued. This actually means it was military issued. So you had an Eagle 359 and then eventually the Waffen 359, which this one has there and right there. No matching mag. This is again is the fourth variation. So the duller finish and no matching magazine. So, of course, back in the day, they didn't have tritium sights and things like this. Now, what I think is cool is that we're right on the cusp of getting modern type of firearms. You know, even in the late 30s, mid 30s, you have the Grand, and you have countries coming out with these really cool things. Nazi Germany, the Sturmgewehr, what's considered the first real assault rifle. You have submachine guns. You know, every country is really on the cusp of modern technology. But when it comes to sights, they're still, you know, just regular steel sights. And then back here we have, there actually is a loaded chamber indicator on this gun, much similar to the Walther P38 there. Double to single action. Now there were, I think the original ones actually had a 90-degree safety. It would kind of ruin these grips up here at the top, so they went more to the 60-degree design. And then this one does have a more traditional Americanized magazine release, but most of these guns actually had this style release. Very few had the heel style release like the Walther P38 there. And just a beautiful example. I mean, there's some wear on the back strap, there's some wear on the front strap, but for being 80 years old, I mean, this is in pretty dang good condition. So I cannot wait to get it out to the range. Just wanted to show you a first look at this thing, man. It's really beautiful. It's got the Bakelite grips. One thing I'm not a fan of, I'm not a fan of those, and I understood why they did it. Late war, they didn't care. Petroleum was like a hot commodity and they were running out of it, so they had to go to wooden grips. Not a fan of those at all, but again, I understood why they did it. This one actually is serialized on the slide and on the frame right there. Some of your more special contracts will actually have serial numbers either on the spine of the mag or on the bottom of the magazine, but this is not a special contract. What's interesting to me is they were still using the Walther banner pretty late in the war on these guns, and it seems like they used the code system on the P38 much earlier than they did on the actual Walther PP and the PPK. I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, these were actually most likely actually given to officers, not necessarily the Wehrmacht, because the Wehrmacht carried, you know, Lugers early war and then pretty much always the P38 after that because they were much cheaper than the Lugers. Officers and police actually tended to carry the PP, police pistol, more often than not, okay? So they actually carried these smaller guns, PP and the PPKs and things like that. So there's the first look at the Walther PP. I cannot wait to get this out to the range. And what's really cool is we're actually going to have a Walther PPK to do some comparison with by the time you see the review on this gun. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.